everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Randa, and today we're doing a video that is going to be super duper fun that I don't think I've done on my channel before. Hope not. But today I'm actually going to be going through my cross-stitch stash. So I've done a couple videos about my diamond painting stash. I have like 29 or 30 or something like that diamond paintings. Those are already on my channel, but I don't think I've ever gone through my full cross-stitch stash. I have a lot. Oh, I didn't. Maybe I should grab the ones that I've already completed. Yeah, I should. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had that idea right after I hit record because when I did my initial diamond painting stash video, which is way in the back, of my videos, it was one of the things that I did when I first started filming YouTube videos, was I showed all of my completed diamond paintings, and then I went through my current whip and then everything in my stash. That's how I want to do this one as well. So, I'm not particularly gonna go in any order as oh, there it is. As in when I finish things, what order I stitch things in, what order I bought things in, none of that. I'm just showing you what I've already stitched. I'll give you a quick glance at my current whip in case you aren't watching my vlogs, and then we'll go through my entire stash. So I want to start with the first cross stitch I ever did. That's the only thing that will be in order here, is the fact that this is the very first cross stitch that I ever completed and framed. So if you are an OG of my channel, you remember this guy. It's a kit that I got from Walmart for $5. And it is a 5x7 full coverage kit. It took me, I want to say at least 2 months to stitch this up, and it's stitched on an 18 count white Aida, with some random fucking floss. It's not DMC, I don't know, it's whatever brand this kit was. And it has a ton of back stitch and 3/4 stitch and all these things that were way too difficult for a beginner stitcher. I don't recommend doing a full coverage kit like this for your very first one, but that's what I did, and I just learned as I went along. I searched YouTube videos of how to do back stitch and how to do a 3/4 stitch and how to read a pattern, and this is how I learned. Was on this kit and a bunch of YouTube videos. So I framed this, and this sits in my bedroom. It's the only one that I have displayed in my house at the moment. I have plans for the rest of my frame pieces, but for right now, this is the only one that's currently up in my house, and it's in my bedroom. It sits on my nightstand. So I didn't have an iron or anything. I didn't iron this. If you look really closely at it, it does look a little bumpy because it was never ironed, but I think it looks good just like this. And I got this frame from Walmart. Anyway, that was my first ever cross-stitch piece, and I thought it was really fun. Next, some of these are framed and some of these are not. This is the one that I need to frame next. So this is from Tiny Modernist. This is the Christmas Sal. I think it's just all it's called is the Merry Christmas Sal. This is available on 123 Stitch and on the Tiny Modernist Etsy shop. I think it's almost exactly 8x10 if I remember correctly, and it is stitched on, I have no idea. No idea. It's stitched in all the called for DMC, but I know that this isn't the called for fabric. I think this is a peaceful gray linen, or I don't fucking know. I think it's a Zweigart, but this is what it looks like. This took me forever and a day to stitch. It was absolutely ridiculous. I took a long break, and my plan for this was to have this hung up for the last Christmas season. That didn't happen. I didn't finish it until February, so and I haven't even framed it yet. This is next on my list to be framed though, so that's gonna happen. But that's that. There's a lot of back stitch and stuff, but it's really cute. So I did that, and then I'll show you because I do someday want to actually finish all of these, but I haven't yet. So this is, oh God, what are these? This is the next one. I can't remember what these are called. These are the samplers of the month by Carriage House Samplings? No. If you search sampler of the month, you'll see them. I do not remember who the designer is. It's either like Cottage House Stitches or Carriage House Samplings or one of those that like, there's like 4 different stitching stores that sound exactly the same. In my opinion, it's one of those. I know that that's not helpful. I'll do my best to like link as much of these as I can, but I don't know if I'm going to be linking all of them, so I'm so sorry. But this one was for December. I had this hanging up in the month of December and took it down because I was going to hang up February or January next, and then never stitched January. So this is the frame. I got this frame from Hobby Lobby. It's a weird shape, but it fits this. And then I just switch out. My plan was I was going to stitch one like each month for a year and then just switch them out of this frame whenever it was like their time to shine and hang it up in the house. That is still the plan, but I stopped stitching one every month. And you can see the reflection of my computer in the background. I stopped stitching one every month because then that was all I was able to stitch. But like I would stitch this and it'd be time to start the next one. And I never got to stitch anything else. So I do want to finish stitching the whole series, but I just haven't yet. So this one was December, and that one's still in the frame. And then the one that was in the frame that got switched out was November. The one I did right before that. So this has just been sitting and it'll have its day again, but this was the very first one that I did of the series, and I have plans to do more. I think I have one of them left in my stash still, but this is all a very long like work in progress. I will finish all of these someday. I just haven't yet. The next thing that I did that was also kind of a series is that I made little signs for my front door for each season. So I'll put up the one that is my like kind of like year-round one. This one says welcome. It's from Cherry Hill Stitchery. It's currently on my front door, which is why I'm just going to show you a picture. And this is the one that I keep out through the spring and the summer, and it's really cute and I love it so much, and it took me like 2 seconds to stitch. It was awesome. I got the pattern off of Etsy and then bought all the stuff from 123 Stitch. It's just stitched on like a tan linen, I think. I don't fucking remember what I stitched it on. But that's that, and that's hanging on my front door. And then for fall, I stitched this one that I believe is also from Cherry Hill Stitchery. No, it's not. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I got the pattern off of Etsy, but then I had this like orange fabric that I was planning for something else, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this, and I want to do a sign for the door. And the only thing that I changed out was that this pumpkin was originally like the same exact color as the fabric, and so I changed it out for a white pumpkin. But otherwise, it was just from floss in my stash, and I already had this fabric, and the pattern. I can't think. And the pattern, of course, was like $5. So no biggie. And then the way that I believe this was the first one I did, so this is the jankiest of them all, but I got these like really thin 5x7, like I think they're either boards or they're actually like canvases, but they're not like typical canvases, like they're very thin. But I got a giant pack of them from Walmart. I have the rest of them up there somewhere. And that's what I used for all 3 of these. And then literally just wrapped the fabric around. This was before I had a staple gun, so I glued it. The rest of them are done with staples, and then there's a command strip in the middle of each of them. But this is the Velcro command strip. So one side of the command strip is not permanently because it's a command strip, but stays on the door, and then you can just Velcro it off, Velcro it on for each season. So I changed them out when the seasons come. I did it last year. I'm gonna do it again this year because I just think they're so cute and fun. And then the one that I did for Christmas was this one. And again, I have literally no idea who this designer is. It's not a designer that I had ever heard of before. I came across this in like a Facebook group or something. I saw the pattern and went, I have to have that. And there was like a link on Etsy and I clicked it. Like, I don't know who the designer is. And it's also not stitched on the called for. This is a different called for fabric, but it's all in the called for DMC. This one took me a little bit longer because it was a little more intricate. The fall one took about 2.5 seconds to stitch up. This one took a little bit longer because it was a little bit more intricate, but still a pretty quick stitch. And then same thing on this acrylic board, and then it's all stapled onto the back and has a command strip in the middle so I can, when it's time. When it's Christmas. But I just think that these are so cute, and I like having the interchangeables for the seasons. It makes me happy. So those are those 3. So I don't have like a spring, summer, fall, winter, but I have like a generic welcome, and then the two important seasons, fall and winter, fall and Christmas. So those are those. And then this is my most recent framed because this is my own cross stitch pattern. So if you are new here and you don't know me and you don't know what I do, I own an Etsy shop called Rander's Crafty Corner. I sell diamond painting, putty, wax, logbooks. I'll have washi tape soon. We'll have candles at some point, and cross stitch patterns. So this is my very first ever cross stitch pattern that I designed. It is available on my Etsy shop if you are interested and you would like to have it yourself. It is called Crafting is My Coping Mechanism. This is stitched on a 25 count white Lugana, antique white Lugana, and it's stitched in DMC. There's 17 colors, and it's almost exactly, it's 6 by 5 when stitched 2/1. Which is how I stitched this. So this is in a 7 by 7 frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. But this was my most recent finish, my own cross stitch pattern. And so this is what it looks like in the frame. And if you like it, you can purchase it for $5 from my Etsy shop. So that's that. It is a digital PDF download. Very proud of that. That will be hung up in my office soon. Here's the thing, is that I have a big wall over here. Why don't I show you? I have a big wall over here. And this sign, small business owner, is the only sign that's on that wall. My plan is to surround the small business owner sign with cross stitch. So when I say that I have a plan for all of these, I will probably not hang them all up together, but I'll like interchange them out and hang them up and stuff on that wall. That's the plan. Anyway, next up. This, I actually know the designer. Woohoo! This is a Barbra Anna Designs. This is Dreaming Girl. I got the pattern and everything off of 123 Stitch. This is not the called for fabric, but I don't remember what I stitched it on. If you're curious about anything in terms of what I stitched it on, whatever, you feel free to like DM me on Instagram. The link below the video has like a Linktree or a campsite Linktree or whatever, and you can click on it and it'll take you to my Instagram and you can DM me. And I am happy to like do the research to figure out exactly what I used if you're curious about a specific piece. But I don't remember. It was stitched on like a blue azalea, like a really, really bright ass blue. And for some reason I just wanted a more muted blue. So I went for a more muted blue and stitched Dreaming Girl on it. This was really fun. This is an 8 by 10 frame. I'm pretty sure I got this one from the Dollar Tree as well. It's nothing fancy, but I think it looks really good in there. And this will definitely be going on my wall someday. I absolutely love this. I just think it looks so good. And I love Barbra Anna Designs, and it's so pretty. So there's that. And then last of my actual like framed and finished pieces before we move on to my whip and then my stash is this one. This is Raven by Nora Corbett. This is one of her This is from her Bewitching Pixies series, and it is stitched on the milk chocolate Zweigart, which is called for, and then in all the called for DMC. The only thing I didn't do was the beads. I used French knots instead of beads, and this is what she looks like. I'm sorry for the reflection, but it is what it is. And then this is a frame that I got, a big black frame that I got from Walmart. I'm pretty sure it's an 8x10. It fits perfectly in here. And she is just so, I love Nora Corbett. I love all of the Bewitching Pixies. I love the Mirabilias. I love Lavender and Lace. I love frickin' what's the other one? Bella Filipina. All of the like fancy ladies. But this is the only one that I actually have stitched up. The rest of them are in my stash. So you'll be seeing those in a second, but I did the Bewitching I did one of the Bewitching Pixies, Raven, and I plan to do more. And this will probably stay down, but be hung up around like Halloween time. That's the plan. So, that is everything that I have stitched and or framed thus far. I have been stitching for probably about a year, if not a little bit more, because I've been diamond painting for at least a year and a half, and I started stitching somewhat quickly after that. So yeah, probably been diamond painting for about a year and a half, if not more, and then stitching for about a year, if not more. So that's a year's worth of stitching right there that I've done. Yeah, it's fun. So then I hope, to grow that, of course, and then I'm going to have a closet full of pieces that I can change out throughout the year, and very fun. But then I'm going to give you a quick overview of my current WIP. So this is where I'm at on it. I know you can't really see it. I'll flash a picture up on the screen in just a minute here. This is Map of Hawk-Run Hollow by, I believe this one is Carriage House Samplings. They all sound the same to me. There's like those 4 Cottage House Stitchery and like Carriage House Samplings and like whatever, they all sound the same to me. This is one of them. This is Map of Hawk-Run Hollow. I'm pretty sure it's Carriage House Samplings. They have a whole Hawk-Run Hollow like series, which is really fun, but I'm not a fan of any of them except the map. I love the map, but this is where I'm at. It's really kind of like boring to look at, but I have half of it done. So the top half is completely done, and now I'm doing the bottom half. And I'll put a picture right up here on the screen of what this looks like when it's finished. It is gorgeous. It is huge. I've already been working on this piece for like at least 3 months, I think. It's huge. It's gonna take me forever. But I'm very excited about it, and I cannot wait for it to be done. I'm gonna have to get like a monstrous frame to put this in, because it's not like, oh, it's gonna fit in an 8x10. Like, no, it needs a big ass frame. So that'll be really fun. But that's Map of Hawk-Run Hollow. That is what I'm working on. It is stitched on a 40 count Sand Newcastle linen, or New Sandcastle linen. I never remember how to say it. But it's a 40 count, and it's stitched all in the called for DMC, and they're all full cross and back stitch. It's not anything crazy. But yeah, like I said, I've been working on it for about like 3 months. I'm just a little over the halfway point. This page is the next page past the halfway point. So hopefully she'll be done in the next couple of months, and I can frame her and hang her on my wall. So that is all of the stuff that I have stitched and or framed and my current WIP. Now, we get into the actual stash. And let me just show you for a second. Ugh. This is what I store them all in. It's a big basket that I just sort of lay them flat in, and I'll show you. That's gonna stay down here though. But I keep all of my stitchy stuff in here. And is there more? Yeah. And what I do is that usually, if you've ever ordered from 123 Stitch before, which is where I get 90% of my stuff, you know that forever ago, they don't really do it anymore, but they used to come in these Ziploc baggies. And they usually, especially if you had a big one, they looked like this. Or this one is from Heaven and Earth Designs, but it looked, you know, it was about this size, and it had your pattern and all your floss in it. And they stopped doing that, but I have been hoarding these plastic bags because that's how I organize them, is that I'll have a big bag that acts as like a project bag, and I'll store the pattern, the fabric, and then a little baggie with the floss in one bigger bag, and then that's it. But I have this lovely little stash of plastic bags because 1-2-3 Stitch stopped giving out the baggies. So now when I buy something new, I'll put it in one of my existing baggies, and then when I, you know, finish a cross stitch pattern, I stick the baggie that it was in with all of this and reuse, you know what I mean? So, and then also, what is this? Oh, another baggie. I have a ton of them. But I think they're useful, so I like to keep them. And then I have the other sort of unconventional, not like just straight up patterns that I have, is that for the past year, that's how I know I've been stitching for a little over a year, because for the past like exact year, I've been subscribed to Just Cross Stitch. And so you get like 7 of them a year, I think, or something like that. And I hoard them. So I keep all of them in that basket as well. I have a bunch of them. And then when I get them and go through them, I'll usually do a video when I go through them, but I will just bend the page down on patterns that I like. Yeah, like see, for example, this one was the samplers with the houses. I bent the page down because I liked it. And then if I ever am like wanting to find a pattern to do, I flip through there. And I already know, I can think of one in particular that I know for a fact I want to do. And I want to see if I can just like really quickly find it. Maybe not. It might take more time than that, than just like really quickly find it. Or maybe it's in the other one. Yeah, maybe it is in this one. Because I already know that this is one that I want to do. Damn it. If I can't find it in the next like 2.5 seconds, I'll just give up. All right, well, I can't find it. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, it's not in this one. It must be in the other one somewhere. Oh, no, wait, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay, 102. I don't know why I want to show this to you, but I do. Here we go. This is the one that I want to do. This is I already know, it's been in my mind. It's from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and it says pick your poison. And I really want to stitch this someday. So I don't know why I don't have this page bent down, but I should, because this is like the only one I can think of like off the top of my head that I'm like, I know for a fact that I want to stitch that someday. It's this. I want to stitch this someday. So, but I have a bunch of them with the pages turned down, with the pages, you know, earmarked, and I have a year's worth of Just Cross Stitch that if I ever need a pattern, I can just go in here and find one. So that's the other more like, I don't know, not just like traditional patterns and stuff. Also, I refuse as a stitcher to just like hoard patterns, because patterns are cheap. And usually, I've never seen a pattern more than like $20. And that's expensive. I've never bought a pattern more than like $14. So patterns are very easy to collect because they're not that expensive. But I have vowed to myself that I will not buy patterns unless I'm also in the financial ability to buy the floss and the fabric at the same time. So all of my patterns are all kitted up and ready to go. I don't like, oh, I'll buy the pattern now and buy the rest of it later. I know I won't. So then I'll just hoard a bunch of crap. So if I cannot buy the full thing at that minute, I don't buy them. So everything in here is fully kitted up and ready to be stitched. And I'll start with my most recent purchase. I did this on an unboxing not long ago, and this is my Nora Corbett, my newest Nora Corbett. This is called Ophelia's Pearl. It's really fucking pretty. There's a ton of beautiful colors. It is, I have to look at it. I bought the called for fabric and the called for DMC for it. It is stitched on a 32 count water lily linen. So it's like this greenish fabric. So I have the 32 count linen and then all of the called for DMC. Lots of really pretty colors in it. I love this piece. It's between this one and one other one of like, I'm not sure which one I want to stitch next. This is one of them. So I'm so excited about it. Whenever I'm done with Hawk Run Hollow, this is on my list of something to stitch next. But see, this is what I mean. I have a baggie that I put, a big baggie that I put the pattern and the fabric in, and then a smaller baggie inside of it that holds all of the floss. So that's how I store them, and then they're separated by project, and then you don't get things all like mumble jumbled together. So that's number one. Then the next one that I have in here is this one. This is Celtic Summer by Lavender and Lace. It is so, I fucking love this kit. I cannot wait to do this kit. I'm pretty sure this is the other one that's like, should I do this next? I don't know. We'll see. No, it's not this one actually, but this is high up on my list because I just fucking love her. She is huge though. The Nora Corbetts are not usually that big. She's huge. So this is the pattern. This is literally what it like comes in. This is what it looks like. It is stitched on a 28 count summer khaki casual linen, which is what this is. That's what I purchased. It's a huge fucking piece. The design area is 11 by 17 inches. It's massive. So of course I have a 18 by 27 piece of fabric. It's huge. And then this is all of the called for floss. It's all DMC. I don't usually buy non-DMC. It's my favorite. I've never like tried Anchor or any of that, so that's what I stitch it on. It also, yeah, I don't think this is giving it away. So there was a Petite Treasure braid in it that I switched out with Krynic 002. I think that must be in here somewhere. Oh, yep, there is. There's my little spool of Krynic, sits right in there. And then I also, this is not just the, so this was an interesting one because it was called for DMC, and then they had this called for with needle paint threads, which are discontinued. They don't exist anymore. So they had the conversion of which DMCs, and so I bought those. And then there's a bunch of Mill Hill beads in this. What I usually do with beads, because I haven't ever beaded, I have no interest in beading really, so what I usually do is I'll look up the beads on 123 Stitch and then find a color of like generic floss in my stash, like a box of floss from Walmart, and find a generic floss in my stash and use that to make French knots instead of beads. So I haven't picked out those yet, but I do have the needle paint replacements, the called for DMC, and my little spool of Krynic all ready to go. So that's that. That'll be done someday. I'm so fucking excited to do that piece. I love that piece. This is from Lavender and Lace, if I didn't say that. I bought it forever ago. It's kind of expensive because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but I don't even care because I'm obsessed with it. So, it's Country Cottage Needleworks. That's what the samplers of the month are from. Country Cottage Needleworks. Country Cottage Needleworks, Carriage House Samplers, they're all the fucking same to me. This is January, so I have the pattern and the fabric for January. I just haven't stitched it yet. And then, when they called for the floss for this, they called for enough floss to do all of them, all 12 of the samplers. So I have this giant bag of floss. Some of it's used, some of it's not, because when I finish stitching, I will put it in a little baggie and label it with the DMC color and put it in here to use on the next project. I don't do that with everything. It's just the fact that it came with enough DMC. You're supposed to use the same stuff throughout the whole entire kit. So it's not like you use one skein of 3705 and then you ditch it and get another skein. Like, there's still all the skein left. You use it for the next one. So that's why this one looks a little janky, is because it's a stockpile for all 12 of them. So I have January in there, and when I start January, I'll buy February so that it's all ready to go. But I am excited to do that. I'll give you a close-up on what January looks like, because January's cute. It has all these little snowmen. You can't really see it that well because it's a small picture, but it has all these little snowmen and the little blue house, and then a bunch of like snowflakes. It's very cute. I do want to do it. I just haven't yet. I will someday. Then, what is this? Oh, this, okay. This is one of my 2 HAEDs. If you don't know what that stands for, that's a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a company that specializes in these absolutely fucking massive, and by massive I mean fucking massive, full coverage cross stitch. So this is literally the bag it came in. It's huge. This is, let me pull out the pattern. It's like a 20-page pattern. When I mean that it's a big piece, I mean it. So if you're not familiar with them, that's what you're getting into. I have 2 HAEDs, Heaven and Earth Designs. I tried to start one of them and then stitched it wrong. You're supposed to stitch it like 2/1 or 1/1 or something, and I stitched it 2/2. So I was not only gonna run out of fabric space, but I was gonna run out of thread as well. So I'm having to scratch that and start over. But I have not started this one yet. I'll show you that other one in a second. Actually, I should pull it down. It's up there somewhere. But this one is my other one that I haven't started yet. This is Mini Celestine by Margaret Morales is the artist of it. That's what it looks like. It's so, God, I just love Margaret Morales so much. If you're more in the diamond painting world, you'll recognize her artwork from DIY Moon Shop. That's where they have a lot of her pieces in diamond painting form. This one is actually available in diamond painting form, I believe, from DIY Moon Shop. But this is the cross-stitch version. It is a, hold please. It is a 16, hold on. No, I have no idea. It's like 20 pages. It's a 20-page pattern. It's huge. And it's completely full coverage. And the finished design size, when stitched on 25 count, is 10 inches by 13 inches. But I'm stitching this on 18 count. So I don't know exactly how big this is going to be when it's done. But this chart has 90 colors in it. So it's not only a lot of colors, and that's on the minimal side. 90 colors is like the minimum for Heaven and Earth Designs. But not only, and this is the mini version, they have bigger versions. Not only is it huge, but they have a lot of colors as well. This is how they send the colors to you in this big mosh posh of nonsense. I would never dream of stitching off of these. When I kit them up, I take it off of these little cards and put them onto bobbins. There's absolutely no way in hell I would try to stitch from this. But if you were cooler than me and wanted to stitch it from this, it has the DMC number and the symbol that's on the pattern right next to it. So it is easy to tell which color is which. But what the fuck is that? Maybe that's just my stitching style. I could never, it's not my style. I much prefer bobbins. But those are all the colors, 90 of them, lots of purples and blues, super pretty. And then this is my fabric. It's just a white, because it's full coverage anyway, but it's an easy grid, easy whatever. You wash this fabric when you're done stitching it and the lines will come out, but it's just an 18 count. But look, it's massive. So that is one of my, like, you know what, someday I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be really fucking cool when I do, and it's gonna take me a year to stitch it, and I don't care. Someday. But it just hasn't happened yet. And I need to get a new piece of fabric for my other HAED. I'm gonna pull that down right now, actually, so you can see it. Both of my HAEDs were gifts from subscribers, because these kits are not cheap. I believe both of my kits, and these are the mini versions, I believe both of my kits were $100. So I was very, very, very grateful to have these be gifts from subscribers, because I would have never, ever been able to buy them by myself. It's just way too expensive. I wasn't, especially because I was still in college when they bought these for me. I could not justify that. But I have them. So I was very, 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 very grateful for that. And I'm still so excited to do them someday. I just haven't yet. Give me 2 seconds. I want to pull down the other one for you, because it's right up here. Where is it? Oh, it's not right up here. It's in my stitching drawer. Here we go. This will also give you an introduction to what I stitch in. So these are called Floss Buddies. I get them from an Etsy store called Bags Plus, BAGZ Plus. I plug these Floss Buddies more than anything in the entire universe. It is the only thing I will kit up in. I will never use like a standard project bag. I will only use these. But this one's a fancy one because this is a 90 pocket Floss Buddy. It's a huge Floss Buddy, and it fits all of the colors for both of my HAEDs. So this is what I'll be using for each HAED, because it fits exactly 90 colors, and it has this, I told her I would like a vinyl pocket on the front, and she said no problem. So I got a vinyl pocket on the front that holds fabric, pattern, scissors, all the good stuff. And then you untie it and you have all of your floss. I have them all on bobbins hanging in here, ready to be worked on at any moment. It's on hold. And it also has like a little clip in the middle for if you wanted to do a floss drop, and for like your specialty threads, and a little spot right in here that I used to put my highlighter in. So, but let me show you the pattern. Not the actual, God, this thing is a mess in here. This is my other HAED. This is Mini Citrine by Rachel Anderson. So pretty. So pretty. And it's the same thing, but this one is 7 3/4 by 11 5/8 on 25 count. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stitch this on like an 18 count Aida, but that's what it looks like. It's so pretty. It's like this little like butterfly girl. So cute. Also huge, also 90 colors. And as you can see, I started it, and I'm gonna have to start over. I have it saved on my computer. I'm gonna have to like print this all out again because I colored all over it. But, let me just try to shovel this together because honestly, it's kind of a mess. But this is also like a 20-page pattern. It's a big one. So that's my other HAED, and I'll show you. This was the fabric that came with it. This is the fabric I was working on. I don't know why I still have the needle minder in here. But this was a 20, I think this was 25 count. But I was stitching it 2/2 instead of, I'm almost positive you're supposed to, I'm gonna check again before I start, but I'm almost positive you're supposed to stitch it 1/1 or 2/1, or I don't fucking know. So, yeah. So it's not it's not right. I would have run out of fabric, I would have run out of thread, I would have run out of everything. So I'm gonna have to get, I think I have a piece of fabric that might work for it, a piece of Aida in my stash, but I just haven't restarted it again yet, but I do have, I don't know why the needle minder and the needle is still just like hanging on there, but this was my start of it. This took me a couple weeks. So like, it's gonna be, once I decide to start one of these again, it's gonna be a journey. I think I might actually do the Margaret Morales one before I try to restart this one again, so that I make sure I do it right with what I'm like given, and then I'll have a better idea of how to do it when I'm pulling in my own stuff in the future, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, yeah, those are my 2 HAEDs. I might buy more HAEDs in the future if I, for some reason, like, finish these. I will finish them one day, but I will only buy more once I finish these. I don't need just, like, a ton of them sitting in my stash, but I have 2 of them, and I'm obsessed with both of them. So, those are both of my HAEDs. And then, oh, we're nowhere near done, and we're 42 minutes in, so this is gonna be a much longer video than I had anticipated. Oh, the other weird thing that I have in here that I suggest all of you have is one of these. This is a DMC floss card chart fucking thing. Color card. And it has, this one is not the one with the threads in it. Apparently that one's like super rare or something. But it has all of the colors of the DMC floss in it. It's really nice to be able to compare when you're trying to like color match and stuff like that. It's really useful. I also keep that in here. Just thought I'd show that to you. But next, let's start with some of my smaller ones on the side. I don't know why I bought this. I don't know if I'm gonna ever stitch it, but I might, so I have no idea. This was off of Etsy. It's like a Russian brand cross-stitch kit. It comes with the fabric and the floss and everything. It was like $10. I think that's why I bought it. And it's like a little kitty cat with some books. It's cute, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna stitch it because I have other things to stitch. But it does have, yeah, it has like a piece of Aida in there, and then I believe the floss colors as well. But that's that. It was like $10 on Etsy. It was really cute. So I have that. It's very cute. I'll probably stitch it someday. And then this was a gift from my sweet, sweet friend Bev from Bev Diamond Paints. Bev B Diamond Paints? Yeah. Her name's Bev. She has a YouTube channel. She's really sweet and wonderful. And this is what she gave me. It's a buttons and beads kit from Mill Hill. She got this off of 123 Stitch. And it's like a little spooky gate. It's really, really cute. And the thing about these buttons and beads kit that I'm very excited to try, I haven't started this yet, but I'm gonna do it someday, is that they come on a thing called perforated paper. So it's not fabric. To me, it almost feels like plastic, even though they say it's paper. But you stitch on this little like gridded piece of plastic instead of on a piece of fabric. And it comes with all the beads, all the thread, the pattern, and then this little button. So it has a little kitty cat button that you can see goes right there. So it has a lot, they're called buttons and beads because there's a lot of buttons and beads. So it'll be my first ever time beading, and I think it'll be really fun. And I'm really excited to try it. It's like, I have no interest in beads usually on like any normal kit, but I'm excited as hell to try this and see how it comes out. Maybe then I will be obsessed with beads, like who fucking knows. And there's like a ton of these. They're just little 6x6 things. They're on 14 count perforated paper. Like they're also decent like beginner kits. The little Mill Hill kits are good if you're starting out. So that's that. So what is this called again? I think it's called Spooky Gate. So if you're looking for it, that's that. And then, oh, she also got me with that. I swear I did no, I guess not. I haven't even taken it out yet. But she also got me this little cat floss drop to put the threads on when I do the buttons and beads kit. Very cute. A1, thank you, Bev. She's amazing. So that's also in there. And then I have this kit. This is a Riolis kit. I'm going to take it out because you can't, I sort of annihilated that and you can't see it very well. But this is a Riolis kit. I got it from 123 Stitch. It was really cheap. It's just like these cute little foxes. And I just thought they were so cute. And it comes with the floss, or the fabric, which is just like a piece of Aida. And then this is the floss that they give you. It's like wool floss, so you don't like separate it the way that you do with DMC. It's really interesting. So these are the colors. So it comes with all the floss and stuff. I figured this would be a really good like travel kit, that if I was going out of town and wanted to bring my stitching with me, this would be a really good like travel kit that I could work on. So get it back in this little sleeve. Oop, that's why. This is gonna be a long ass video. I hope you guys brought a snack. I don't think I realized how long this video would be. I don't know why I didn't expect that this video would be long as hell. We ain't done yet. We ain't nowhere near done yet. I still got a bunch of them in there. So if you haven't grabbed a snack already, feel free to pause and get a snack because we're 47 freaking minutes in. Anyway, continuing on. This is my one and only Mirabilia. So Mirabilia is the same designer as Nora Corbett, but Nora Corbett are smaller patterns and Mirabilia's are bigger. So this is my only Mirabilia so far. I want to get more someday, but this is the only one that I have at the moment. This is Raven Queen. She is stunning. She is everything. She is gorgeous. We love her so much. And let me pull her out so I can give you a bit of details. I did have a bit of a conversion for the Rainbow Whisper threads. I subbed it out for a DMC. And then the Krynix I switched out for a DMC. But then I did get the one Krynix cable, this gold one right here. But that's all the colors for it. Some really pretty colors. Like I said, this is called Raven Queen. And it's model stitched on a 32 count touch of gray linen, and I'm almost positive that that's what this is. Does it have a tag on it? Nope, it does, but this is a pearl gray Belfast, so not exactly what it's stitched on, but close. It's a gray linen. It's gonna look great. This is also huge, so when this is done, it'll be 9 by 17, so it's not like crazy wide, but 17 inches long is pretty big. So this was one of my like bucket list kits. It's very expensive, but I was so excited. So that's Raven Queen. And then my next bucket list kit that I got, and it was and this was the other one that was like, ooh, maybe I'll do that one next, is this. This is my only Bella Filipina kit so far. Again, I want more, but this is all that I have so far. And this one is called Bellatrix. Again, she is the queen. She is amazing. She is gorgeous. She is everything. Look at the little cat in the window. Look at the little fire in her hand. I'm obsessed with her. That's it. I'm obsessed with her. This is stitched on an 18 count Aida, which I was not expecting. They come in this like really fancy like thing. Hold on. Again, this was really expensive, which is why it was one of my like goal kits, one of my like bucket list kits, is because of how expensive it is. But this is, hold please. This is stitched on a 14 count Aida called Cobblestone. And I don't think that's what I got though. No, it's not. So this is the Aida that I got. It's a 14 count Aida, but it's called Dapple Gray. It's still like a nice mottled gray fabric that I think is gonna look really good. You can see like the different tones in there. That's called modeling. Really, really pretty. And then I didn't have, I'm gonna put these in a baggie because they're not in a baggie right now, but this is all the called for colors, except for, so I got, this is a, it called for Karen water lilies, but they didn't have the water lilies, but they had the Karen water colors, which is a completely different kind of thread, but I think I can make it work. So it's a much thicker thread, but I think I can make it happen. So that's the like silk that's called for. I thought I had an actual silk as well in here, but that might be a different kit. That might be a different one. I don't have many silks because they're very expensive, but I have a couple. So let's get a tiny bag to put this in. Here we go. See if I can shove them all in here. I might not be able to. This one might be too small. Do I have a, yeah, this will be better. I was like, why is this not in a baggie? I have so many of them sitting over here. They should be in a baggie. Here we go. Hold, please. We're going on an adventure together, okay? We're putting this in the bag together. And then I'm going to shove my Karen water colors in there. There we go. That's much better. Now all of the threads are nice and together. That makes me feel better. But that's that. So it's between this one and, Jesus, what was it? It was this one and, I literally said it earlier in this video. Oh yeah, it was between this one and Ophelia's Pearl, of like which one I was gonna do next. I might need to do this one next because like 'tis the season, right? It's about to be spooky season. I don't know if I'll finish. No, I might not though, because I might not finish Hawk-Run Hollow in time for spooky season. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. I'm like dying. I don't have a drink in here. I'm like sweating. This is a lot. So that is Bellatrix. She's so amazing. I love her so much. Moving on. I'm seeing like a loose piece of fabric in here and I'm so confused. This is my only thing that I have, I think, from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I might have something else, but I honestly don't remember. This is called Winter Carriage Ride. And I meant to stitch this last winter, never got around to it, but I did sub out the color, their hair color and skin color so that it looks like Perry and I. Very cute. And this is the fabric that I got for it. It's a 28 count crystal oaken casual linen. And so it has like little sparkly specks of green in it. It's actually really pretty. And then all the called for plus one rando floss that I pulled. But that's that. It's really cute. It's just like a little pattern. It won't take me that long to stitch when I do stitch it. I just haven't yet. So that's that. I need to like fucking roll my sleeves up because it's getting hot in here. I don't even know what time it is. Perry's gonna be home soon. I did not expect this to take me so long. Okay, next. This is from the Witchy Stitcher. The Witchy Stitcher. This is the only pattern that I have from her, but I'm obsessed with this. It's called Witchcrafts, and it's literally Witchcrafts. There's like scissors and bobbins and shit. It's so fucking cute. I can barely stand it. I have it on, this I believe is the called for. No, it's not the called for. It's different. I don't know what this is stitched on, but this is all the called for DMC down here. Let me see what this is, what fabric I got for it. So this is a Picture This Plus 28 count Ren casual linen is what I got for this. And it's gonna look really good. And I'm so excited to do this one because look at how fucking awesome that is. I just love it. Anyway, continue. Then I have Again, I have a random piece of yeah, I'm gonna put this elsewhere. I have this random piece of fabric and I don't know why. It's just chilling in there. So I'll put that where it goes. This is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and this is The Witch's Spell is what it's called. I love all of the witchy ones from Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's so fucking cool. I got it on, this is not the called for fabric. I know that because the called for fabric was like stupid expensive and I didn't want to do that. This is on a 32 count Stormy Night Belfast linen. It's this, again, like just a mottled gray. I think it's gonna look so good. And then this is the floss, lots of greens and purples. That's the called for floss. God, it's gonna look so good. So good. I have so many like spooky season ones that I need to do. God, I'm so excited. But that's that. Autumn Lane Stitchery. Hell yeah. I love Autumn Lane Stitchery. But yeah, The Witch's Spell. A1. So good. And then, is this the last but not least? No. I think there's two more. So this is my only gold collections kit. I tried to do a dimensions once and hated it and literally threw it in the garbage, but it was not a gold collection, so I don't want to like completely deem this one ridiculous yet. But it's so pretty. This is called Winter Cabin. I got this from Hobby Lobby. So you can get it in store at Hobby Lobby or you can get it online at 123 Stitch, but it's just so pretty. Oh my God. I just think it's so pretty, and I think it would be so pretty fully stitched up. And it comes with the fabric. It's an Aida, I think. It's an 18 count Aida, I believe. And then all of the floss. That again comes in that ridiculousness, and I will be putting it on bobbins because that's not happening. And then this is last but not least, yeah? Yeah. Last but not least is this one. This is one of the first cross-stitch patterns I ever bought, or cross-stitch kits. This is before I bought actual patterns, I just bought kits. This is from Letty Stitch, and it's called Did We Scare You? It's two little kitties on some pumpkins. It is a full coverage piece, and this is my only, it comes with the fabric and all of that. This is my only kit that has anchor. So, yeah, and it comes on a Zweigart Aida, I think a 16 count Zweigart Aida, and then that's all the colors of anchor. So it's just, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. This is very low on my, like, to-do list, so it'll get done someday, probably, but, probably not anytime soon, because I have so many other fantastic things to stitch. It's just not high up on my list. Same thing with the Dimensions kit, it's just not high up on my list, so. But that's it, y'all! We made it through the basket. That's it. You should see the mess that I'm surrounded by. It's ridiculous, but anyway, I've been jabbering on for about an hour now, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you enjoyed going through my stash with me. If you have any questions, like I said, you can always DM me and I'm happy to answer any of those. Or if you see anything in my stash that you like, let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing that stuff from you guys, so I'm planning on doing a video about how I organize my floss that's like after I'm done with a kit, what I do with the leftover floss. So if you're into cross-stitching content, I'll have more of that, as well as diamond painting content as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot of fun stitching done while you were doing it, or diamond painting, or whatever it was you were doing while you were watching this. And that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I love you all. Bye!